Okay, so I think I'm going to start here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to the commentary until the start of the match, and then once the match has begun, I'm going to lower the commentary during the song so I can kind of talk over it a little bit. Um, if I had the clear cut like game audio, I'd be able to do a little bit better, but this is what we have right now. So let's just start from the first match I had, which is against About 7, who is a very good player that I hadn't heard of before.
To be about 30, so he's still getting used to it, yeah.
Right.
But getting almost 2,900 on a song, like on that song, without being fully used to it is very scary still.
Right.
All right, we are now on to the next match.
It's going to be
Cat versus...
About
is that
7.
About 7?
Yes, that's About 7.
Dude, I still haven't met About 7. I'm going to go say hi.
Hey!
I knocked over the mic. I'm sorry.
You're a good caster.
I'm a fantastic caster. I sit here when a good player plays and I just sit in awe. I don't say anything. I'm not biased at all. God damn, dude. Like, this is crazy.
Okay, so first thing I want to say is I had no idea this many people were like cheering me on the stream and everything and kind of in the background. So that was quite a shock when I came back to my room later this night and rewatched the stream and stuff. So thank you all for supporting me and watching me play and cheering for me. I really didn't expect that at all, especially being an older player and somebody who hasn't really been active in the community for the past few years. So
I'm so in shock.
You saying you're in shock, and I don't think I can play anymore because I'm super excited.
Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I want to play so freaking bad because of how excited I am.
For me it's a combination of for me it's a combination of everything, you know, being tired, the stamina not kicking in, player.
oops. Oh no! I lost it. Hold on. I lost it. Where was it? Here we go. Okay.
I want to play so...
So what I wanted to say is, this is just a warm-up, so I'm just gonna kind of let it go. I don't remember what they said during the warm-up, but I'm sure there's something interesting in there.
Freaking bad because of how
for me it's a combination of for me it's a combination of everything, you know, being tired, the stamina not kicking in,
dude, I'm not gonna lie.
My brain's not functioning.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. About 2 hours ago, I was starting to like lose it, like in terms of like, you know, energy. I'm crashing, and now I am like full of it. I just want to play.
If there's only one thing disappointing right now is that we're not over there with other people hanging out, because that's what we usually do.
Yeah.
But we're here to provide commentary for the tournament today. And it's About 7. He's a very good player when it comes to timing some of the lower level stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited to finally meet About 7 and watch him play. Already he's showing off his excellent consistency here. Plus 12 on his PB.
It seems like Toshiya was actually asking about the key setup.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure what it is either.
And,
all right, so we've been so excited and talking about basically nothing for so long that we forgot that they've already selected the song. So we should do it before they change it. So the 3 songs for this round with About 7 versus Cat are going to be Hello Happiness Another, followed by Light and Cyber Another.
And say it 10 times.
Followed by Da 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 Da.
There
Another.
we go. Yeah, I counted right.
All right, so I chose to protect Hello Happiness. I don't remember what the other 2 songs are. Maybe they'll bring it up. Hello Happiness is a really nice non-ran chart, in my opinion. It makes things really consistent for me. I usually get somewhere around like a low AAA, and it has a lot of tricky patterns that can random really badly. I've been able to full combo it non-ran before, so it's something that I feel fairly confident about and consistent on. And then About 7 chose to protect Light and Cyber, which I expected. We got all 11s, I believe. And Light and Cyber was easily the densest one. And About 7 has very, very good density scores compared to me. I've only AAA'd Light and Cyber twice. Once was in this match, so that was really cool. I've full comboed it a few times. More than I've AAA'd it for sure. And also, the last song, Da Da Da, is something that I have had a lot of practice full comboing, and usually there aren't a lot of randoms that go really badly, so I left that in, just because I knew I was going to use random on the last 3 songs, and I didn't want to get messed up by any of them. I don't remember what the other 2 were, so... Alright, let's continue here.
Come on. Wait, I was off beat.
Wow, please.
I'm sorry, I've been playing too many 11s and 12s recently that I forgot.
You forgot what 10s sound like. Oh. AAA plus 132 for About 7.
I'm sorry, Handra killed me.
Alex only plays 110. There's never been a truer statement said in that chat today. Oh my god.
Alright, so I think we're failing out here.
It's
and
actually a 31, you're
match.
right. So he actually doesn't play any 10s.
Just practice.
I know. I don't play it enough. Because, I mean, it's one song, okay? It's one song. Man.
One song doesn't really define a player. I'm serious.
But yeah, that's true. No, you're right. Yeah, no, you're of course right.
I like them staring at each other there.
I think we actually had a meaningful discussion.
Yeah, well, no, we
about
did.
this long time ago
100%.
because I got a really good score on Cubelia.
You got AAA plus 212, something like 3880, which is
3880,
insane.
which is insane. But at the same time, it doesn't really define me as a player, overall player. It's just one song.
Yeah.
It's just one score. And it's something that I got out of nowhere, which I can't get it at all now.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
I think that something just kicked in.
Another thing to note is you can see somebody has a shirt supporting About 7 here. They had a whole big crew of people to come in. Yeah, you can see them there.
About 7 is playing on the cabinet, but who's that with a shirt?
Yep, I know. That is amazing. He's got a fan base, dude. He's got people rooting for
So that
him.
was kind of cool to see that.
About 7.
You know we are esports if we start having fans for the players and cheering for them.
Yeah, it's crazy that they traveled out for this, to be honest. This is really far. I think About 7 lives in Montana. I'm not really sure where they're at.
Cat. The first song being Hello Happiness. I feel like this may cater a little more towards About 7.
Right.
Cat is a very strong player at lower levels. Definitely her strength.
Right. The problem there is that she starts falling off super hard when it goes to harder 11s and 12s.
Right, which is unfortunately exactly what Hello Happiness is.
Right.
So this may be a little rough for her, but we will see what happens.
I remember my friend first saying, rather, when he saw the chart for the first time.
Yeah.
He told me this is a BMS chart because of how screwed up some parts were with the jacks.
Yeah, so this is
Not
actually
exactly, but
probably a
yeah,
mid 11 for
definitely
me.
not
I
as
don't
good.
think it's one of the
It
harder
kinda feels
11s.
that way.
You're
Let's
right.
turn this
You're
down
right,
a
you're
little
right.
more.
Okay, here we go.
Starting with the fast.
Alright, so these little 30-second scales are fine until this one. Wasn't too worried about those, and I knew the scratches were in there, and I thought, okay, maybe about 7 is bad at these. I'm not sure how good they are at whatever, right? I've never met this person before, never seen their scores.
It's actually okay.
Right.
Yeah, it certainly is.
And that
not
little
very-
piano part with
very
the
bad,
jacks in it
especially
is the
considering
part
how
that
bad
gets
some
really
of
hard
the
on
roll
random to kind of deal with, so that was the whole point of that.
Are you sure?
No, it's very
There's
close,
a dense
maybe.
section at the end that can random badly too, but is okay
I'm gonna have to
non-random.
double check because I thought I saw a scale
You
for,
can see
cap,
my
I
timing
thought
isn't
a
really
scale
there
for,
right now.
Val 7.
I don't normally get this
About
many,
7 is playing on something very
you
close
know,
to non-random, but
regular greats on this. I never got my timing back this
Right around
weekend.
50 points.
As
Right
soon
around
as I
50
went
is
back
actually
to
working out for her. This part is super tricky to time.
my home
Yeah,
arcade,
this
everything
can
was
actually
alright.
Make or break a
Oh.
run.
A lot of slows coming in for Cat and about 7 trying to catch up as much as possible, but still 60-point
Wow.
difference between the two.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
so you
say
can
both
see I've got a
players definitely did that
sizable lead
section
right
very
now,
well.
and I
Not
know
very
the
good,
density
not
part
awful
is
at
coming
all.
up. I don't know how big of a lead I'm in. We're not playing arena mode, so I just have to go off my feeling and say that,
All straight
okay,
in
well,
and out.
I
That
am
little
not
burst
on
in the middle
AAA
and the
pace, so I need to
scratch
step it
section,
up.
which is gonna get the players. Here we go. That scratch is a little bit hard
These
to hit if you do not
16
put the
scratches are a little
right.
hard to hit, but they're not too bad. I mess up there pretty bad, but the whole point is I kind of know this is my song,
20-point difference.
so I just kind of
With the win.
push my hardest on it. And
Right.
the next song that I'm gonna play is Light and Cyber.
As strong in songs like these, but about 7 after having a 60-point difference, really pulling ahead
Yeah.
in the later half of the song.
He certainly did not give up.
Right. And the other thing about today's tournament is that they're warming up and they're getting into it, which
Yeah.
means that players who didn't do well in the beginning, they might be start doing really well in the second song and the third song.
Right.
Look at Chris.
Right, exactly, right? He's a fantastic example. Light and Cyber being the second song here. Once again,
Alright, so for Light and Cyber, my main goal was to just hit as much as I can. I wasn't going as much for timing as I was for
so once again,
just
this is
density
something I
streaming.
would say players
That's
worked
something
on
that
but
you'll
after
see a lot of
seeing
players
how
don't
it
really
went, I really can't say for sure what's gonna happen.
It might be close, but
They can't really separate the two at first, so they'll end up in one or the other. And then really, really good players like Matt and 1048, you'll see, can kind of shift everything to timing mode. Obviously, I'm not there yet, so I'm just working on like my density skill here and trying to make sure I don't pick up anything extra. And you'll see my playstyle is a little awkward, so I hit 1 with my palm. So one of the things I can end up being kind of bad at is switching my right thumb to 3. And you'll see I don't do that on this song, and I didn't realize it basically this entire tournament, and that was a big deal later on.
We have a
1372, 1318 for Chat.
just below 60.
Also,
point
the
gap.
Galanote skin that I use is to fight glare, so instead of having blue and white and the white blends in with the glare, you have this kind of darker purple and this very bright
Love it, man.
pink color, which are very easy to tell apart and have enough color to deal with glare appropriately. So they're bright enough
Yeah,
to
the
do
ending
that.
section is a little bit easier to time compared to the first half. The gap is still around
And I think
50
during
to
that
60
break I could
points.
tell I was going to
About
lose. I think
7.
I looked over and
This is
saw
where
the
he
graph
really
and
shines in terms of timing.
realized that I wasn't going to hit it.
The beginning struggles, trying to close the gap, but not really doing so right now, as we're still around 50.
I'm going to the ending run. This is usually the hardest part for me, and I lose a lot of points here, normally. I don't think I did this time. Yeah, I did fairly well.
Both players hitting this very well. Cat maintaining the full combo. Will she get it?
Oh,
She does it.
Get it.
She does it. Very well played.
Yeah,
Although
so I
she
lost that
the
by a
round,
lot, which I expected.
Still a very impressive play.
I did not realize I got the AAA. I just kind of mashed out of it, I think, afterwards. Yeah, I was like warming up my hands.
Tiebreaker.
And that's the second time I've ever AAA'd that, so that's really good. Alright, so I'm gonna turn their volume back up for a little.
All right.
All right, so the tiebreaker is going to be unicorn tailed again.
Because you make the best randomizers. Nah. So
Nah. It was a different song when we saw, I believe.
it was da 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 da.
Keep kudasai.
Wow.
Oh, great. Can I pop off a little bit right now before the song begins?
Go right ahead.
I was in the same group as Paranoia Boy in Dance Rush. I got first place in the group.
Hell yeah, man. Congratulations.
I don't know how, but...
'Cause you're good
okay,
at
I'm
Dance
quitting
Rush.
2DX. I'm a Dance Rush main now.
See you at KAC, my man.
Bye-bye.
All right, da 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 da, because this guy wants me to say all of them. Looks like both players will be playing on random.
Alright,
I have
so
to say, our random for this is not a bad idea. Have you tried
random
it?
can be kind of rough
I
on
think
this,
it's
but
pretty good
generally it's
consistency.
really good.
I'll
I'd say probably like 75 to 80% of the time you get a good random, maybe
All right, let's see how
5 to
difficult
10% of
one
the
is
time
this.
you get an okay random, and then 10 to 15 you get a
Not
bad
smart,
random.
idea.
But bad randoms are not that difficult to deal with. I actually ended up getting an okay random on this. It wasn't great, it wasn't bad. I did mess up some key sections, which you'll see, but I got really lucky, and the repetition ended up winning me the match because about 7 got caught by it. So that's something you see a lot of starting 2DX players end up with trouble on, is when you see repetitive patterns, especially with bass and things like that. When it changes, they're not really watching that as much as they're thinking about the pattern in their mind, and it trips them up. So, I mean, it still tripped me up here, probably just because of tournament nerves, but I ended up getting back on track and doing well, and I probably would have full comboed this if I hit that section. You'll see it coming up here. I'm surprised I was ahead here. When I watched this again, I was like, what? Right here, I missed this one. Yeah, so I hit it too early or too late or something. It wasn't a big deal because I was able to time those jacks really well. And that takes a lot of practice to do as well. That's not something that comes naturally, just because you have to learn the kind of hand motion to do that.
And the round goes to Cat. She did not expect it.
So really that could have gone either way. I was still really happy with that match. I'm glad I met about 7. They are a spectacular player. And I hope to talk with them more in the future.
Very, very well played.
I'll definitely be watching them.
Next up is going to be ISO, and
okay, so
like
I am going to queue up the next match, and then I need to close the window because it's getting cold, and I'm gonna grab a drink. Here it is. Come on. Okay, I think that's good. I will be right back. Hold on. Alright, I'm back, so let's listen to the commentary for a bit, and then we will pop into the match. I know they talked about the picks this time, so the picks are a little bit less important in this match than they were in the last one. But you'll see. Let's go into it.
Yes, that's awful. All right, I'm gonna hand this back over to Alex right now.
All right, well, I will see you later.
Thank you.
See you around.
And apologies to anybody for the last minute little interview session. We just kind of had to make do with the resources that we had.
Yeah.
It's the time that we had. It's the time that we had to use. So.
That's true. Hello, Alex.
大変でしたね。とても大変でした。
Oh my god.
Why am I speaking Japanese?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I was speaking Japanese in N48 to explain the rules. Okay.
Oh my god.
So we're back. Or rather, I'm back. Sorry for being tired. I've been just out of it. Seems like there's gonna be a tiebreaker between Kev and Though.
Yes, so very exciting match between Kev and System here. Both single-digit gaps on both songs. Very exciting.
Okay, so we need to skip ahead. Let's get through this. Sorry, you can watch this on Dan Adam KOS channel if you like.
Alrighty. So now we are on to the next match.
I know the song picks.
You do?
If I try to remember.
If you try to remember.
The first song is Tropical Club.
Ooh, wow.
Picked by Cat. The second song, Protected.
So Cat versus who?
Toshiya.
Oh.
The second song is from Resort Anthem. It's actually a song with a lot of kanji. I don't remember the name, but it's the one with the triple S in the beginning.
Oh. God, I don't remember. It's a 12?
Yeah, it's a 12. It's a super... It's a easy song.
Kurakami. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know the name.
Yeah. Kurakami. That shit's good.
I don't get paid. You know,
that's
to
all right.
learn all the names just for this.
I think I have a water bottle over there. You mind looking over there for me?
Yeah.
I'm a little thirsty.
Sorry, I don't see it.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so real quick, let me talk about the picks. So I got rid of Quakes because I'm thinking I'm really bad at density. I can maybe, mid AA Quakes on a really, really good run. Probably low AA otherwise. I protected Tropical Club because I don't know much about 1048 besides he's really good. And I don't know if he's good at scratching or not good at timing easy stuff. And I didn't think it was going to matter too much, so I kind of picked the song that I wanted to play the most and the song that was not a 12. I left the other one in, Mira, and we ended up having to play that, or we would have had to play that if we went to a random. So I was okay with all of that.
All right. Another chance to see
By the
Toshiya. What's up?
way, the 2 songs that got banned, Cat banned Quakes.
Quakes?
Quakes.
Oh, okay.
And out of the 2 songs left, Toshiya banned Ram.
Ram.
He
okay.
doesn't like it.
Okay.
He doesn't want to play it. So guess what the tiebreaker is?
I don't know.
Think of the worst song from Cannonballers.
12?
11.
11. Oh my god, I'm blanking a little bit. Like I can hear the song in my head, but I don't know what it's called.
Mira.
Yeah, there we go. How could I forget?
Okay, so
right.
Tropical Club,
Let's see Toshiya here.
like I said, is more up my alley.
Definitely his kind of chart.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Cat actually picked it.
Yeah.
'Cause this is
Definitely.
something that,
However,
he would excel
you'll
on.
see this random.
Yeah. Still with
I was not
one
able
grade.
to capitalize on it. Probably because I hadn't played a lot on this cabinet. I hadn't played
I know,
a
right?
lot prior to this tournament, which was my fault. I could have played at home. So I wasn't on my game in terms of moving my right thumb over to 3, and you'll see in the end that really screws me over a lot.
I thought that this was going to be her best chance at beating Toshiya just because this is something that she excels at. The problem is,
I think my best on this is like a 95% EX, so I don't think I would have beaten Toshiya anyway.
one-sided match.
Right.
Regardless, it would have been fun if I had done a little better on this. I really messed up these scratches. I don't usually do this bad. And it wasn't nerves or anything. I didn't really think much of playing against 1048, despite what other people are saying about everybody playing against 1048. It wasn't that big of a deal to me. I was just kind of very respectful, and I know he was an innovator of the game, so just do my best and try and do what I can. Yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of like 3 with scratch here, and there's a lot of stuff in between.
Oh, there it goes. The comment
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
So close. Wow, still impressive.
So
Max minus 71.
1048 takes game number 1. 22-37 to 2015.
Jeez. That is, wow. That is quite the gap, quite the amazing display of skill from Toshiya. I am excited to watch him play this.
All right, with that being said, both players are ready to go. 3, 2, 1, start.
All right. And here we go. Both players doing a little
So
bit of stretch.
for
Toshiya a little more so.
Natashiko Metal, I didn't think I was going to do too well on this, especially against a player of Toshiya's caliber, but I was aiming for a AAA. I almost got it. If my timing had been more on par, if it had been like you'll see in my next match with Chris, my timing kind of comes back a little bit. If it had been at that level, I probably would have gotten like 50 or 100 EX more. You can see me start to fall off really heavy near the end of the song. And this wasn't a particularly bad random. You'll hear the 2 commentators talk about my random is good, but I don't play 1048 style. Surprise, surprise. I play Taka S, which you can see is going on right now, with my own play style, which I talked about earlier, where I have my palm on 1, especially for really dense stuff.
Honestly, being within 80 points of Toshiya, Kat is definitely trying her best.
And because there's a lot of 1-2 rolls and a lot of like movement between 1 and 3 and stuff in the chart, I'm not doing too well with it. Usually when I'm really practiced, I can do fine with that regardless, but I wasn't for this tournament. Yeah, you can see I'm just dropping EX everywhere on this part, and I should not be. I need to go back and AAA this. I kind of went back and played everything again after the tournament, just to see what I could improve on, and pretty much improved on everything. I haven't played D, which you'll see later, or this yet.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm just sitting here watching.
Now we go into the final stretch.
Yeah, I could have done much better on this. Again, not much to really comment on this song. It's a 12. I was gonna lose anyway. I tried my best for the situation. Almost AAA'd it. It was a few points down.
What?
He's like really happy to be here and
Yeah, my pacemaker was set to 90%, which is, I'm pretty sure, a little below my personal best,
Oh my god.
which was like 60 EX higher or something.
so don't get fooled.
So I was in the right range.
He is super happy to be here and he is.
Alright,
We
let's
talked
switch
him and he's super
to
happy
the
be
next
here.
one.
I got all the questions right, and I basically renovated the entire library. And here's Matt. What's up, man?
Hello, everybody. Playing like garbage.
All right, I gotta play now. Bye.
Not feeling good about that top four. I just can't quite lock the machine down.
I think we were picking songs here, and I don't remember what the two we got rid of are. So I
How'd
apologize
you
for
feel
that.
about that, Alex?
I just didn't play well, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, I have personal issues, but it's just excuse at this point. So,
You actually have what?
no.
Yeah, right,
We talked about this, but it's just an excuse. So I just didn't play well. Period.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm having a lot of trouble adjusting to the machine.
Well, that's just
I
what you
think
have to
it's
do.
me.
That's just what you have to
Yeah,
do in a
I
tournament.
know.
You just have to get come down, whether you're tired or not, whether
Yeah.
your conditions are not 100%. It's your job to keep your condition up and
Yeah.
try to play as best as possible
Yeah.
when you come down here.
No, you're right.
So if you're just not performing as well when you're doing it at home or at arcade or your home arcade or whatever, then it's just straight up. It's not, this cabinets aren't as good or anything
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
I'm not saying that the cabinets
It's
are
just
bad.
no. I'm not saying that you
Yeah.
are. I'm just letting people know that
Yeah.
it's just you.
Exactly.
There's nothing more to it.
Exactly.
Right. Next match is going to be from the losers bracket. Is going to be Cat versus.
So I 100% agree with all of that. I used to be really hard on myself about my placement and how I was doing, but I haven't blamed myself or blamed something other than myself for bad performance in, I don't know, probably I'd say like 8 or 9 years. It's been a long time. So yeah, let's continue here.
This is Chris.
All right. This is going to be a good one right here. All right, do we know the songs for this set?
Give me 1 second. I love how we both just pull out the phone at the same time. Except you're not doing the job.
I'm sorry.
Alright, so the songs are going to be Cosmic Cat, The Cannonballer, and The Least 100 Second.
That's a roller coaster of a set right there.
So, fun fact, I think I left the cannonballers in intentionally over something else because I thought it was the commanders, and for some reason that was an 11. This whole tournament I've been trying not to pick stuff from cannonballers or rootage because I haven't grinded that much for those two mixes, especially 11s and up. For everything Cinebuzz, and then Pendule and down, I have. So I'm pretty familiar with those charts. Copula to a lesser extent, Cannonballers somewhat more extent, and Rootage to a very heavy extent in this tournament. I was not practiced for. I didn't really know the 11s and 12s, so when I saw them, I got rid of them if it was possible. However, I did think the Cannonballers was the commander, so whoops. You'll see how that goes. I think I protected Cosmic Cat. I don't remember. It might have been the other way around. We'll see.
That's a good warm-up set.
I mean, yeah,
I feel like.
suppose. The Cannonballer, I don't think so, but it's...
No, it's just a slap in the face before you go into 100.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just need that one slap to your face.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Right.
All right. All right.
Start.
We may need the layout to change a little bit here, Mr. Dan, Adam.
Okay, so one of the big things about this set, or this song in particular, is that I am pretty familiar with this chart. I think usually I get between like 94 and 95%, while my PB is somewhere around a mid 96.
Cosmic Cat, 11 from Pendule. Not too much
I think I have a 91% on the Legendaria, so I've played it a lot. I know how the song goes. And you'll see I do pretty well here. It's also a song that I think is very easy to time for an 11. I don't think it's... I mean, it is particularly easy for an 11, but at the same time, it feels, to me, at a BPM that is easier to time than a lot of other 11s.
Right. Unless you get something really crazy like 1-2 with like a lot of scratches or something like that. Even then,
it's not terrible because the BPM.
Yeah, there's not too much difficult in this song. There's a couple of like 24th sections, I think.
This is where both players actually excel at.
Some chord stream. Some tricky triplets here and there. There's that scratch part.
With that being said, we have about 20-point difference between the players.
But I know from watching Chris in previous matches, I know that my timing is going to be better than him on this. So I'm not too worried about this song. I'm just, you know, pushing for timing as much as I can. I wasn't going for a full combo or anything. Like, I can aim for full combos a lot of the time, like I did on Light and Cyber, but this time I wasn't doing that. I was just going for as much EX as I could get.
Well, there's a final stretch.
And this was an okay random. It wasn't great.
Great on the first part. Cat keeping up the combo.
Dropping a few too many greats, maybe.
Right. But it's gonna come down to.
But yeah, starting off that set with a full combo felt really good. So I was pretty much ready to go. I wasn't, even after the next song, I wasn't too worried about at least 100 seconds.
In the end, it didn't matter. Alright, now we're going into the Cannonballer.
So yeah, as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh no, this is the Eurobeat track. This isn't the Usau or whoever made it track. I got really worried. I was like, this might be bad, but I'm going to deal with it. I think I did play this quite a few times for a AAA. I don't remember. It's been so long. Maybe it was to try and beat a rival or something. I am really weak at base 4 stuff. A lot of people are weak at base 7, base 3. I actually prefer base 3. Base 7 I'm not great at, but I can deal with. But base 4 is really rough because I do not have asymmetric playstyle. So I'm getting to terms with the chart now, but it's pretty much too late to catch up on it. As long as Chris keeps up with what's going on, I'm not going to be able to grab this one back because it's fairly consistent the whole way through. All the patterns kind of come up by, let's see, by this point, yeah. It's like the halfway point. You've seen all the patterns already. There may be a few flourishes and things, but there's no like tricky ending. There's no weird stuff going on that you haven't already seen. So I'm just kind of hoping for a miracle here, trying my best.
Right, he's doing super well going into the next section with 60-point difference. Let's see how they do here. Chris did not want to rev up the engine as he just missed the scratch.
Wow. My God. The gap widening even still.
Yeah, see, I'm not really aiming for anything here. I'm just like
Yeah, just looking at the glass,
going on, trying to
doesn't look that bad for either
keep
player.
pushing through timing, I guess.
Chris, I would say.
Yeah, oh, that 1-2.
Ooh, but it didn't. He already has the gap, so taking that little bit.
Yeah, he was
forward
way
is
ahead.
important.
There was nothing I could do on this one.
And that slap for this section is going to help him a lot as he takes the victory.
So a lot of that is just unfamiliarity with the
That
song.
is a 1-1. We are going on to the tiebreaker, which is going to be the least 100 seconds. Least 100 seconds being quite the interesting chart, if I do say so myself. It's definitely not your run-of-the-mill 12.
264 BPM.
And like, what kind of BPM is that? Why?
Who? We? Why? 왜? 누구? 어디서 무엇을 하느냐?
Oh my God.
Very interesting chart.
Yeah,
I have to say.
264 BPM. Really though, kind of half speed because most things are just eighths, right?
Right.
So it's kind of like playing what? I can't do math. 132. Yeah.
Yeah.
So playing like
It's
132 all day.
It's a very hard BPM to time.
Yeah,
Don't get us wrong. It's not that hard to actually hit the notes if you are a good player, but it's that much harder to hit P greats on the song just because the BPM is slower.
Right, and I also feel like it's actually quite a transitional challenge as well.
Right.
Because there's a lot of very, very awkwardly placed scratches where you can just drop
That
so many grades.
Plus little slowdowns put in
Right.
here and there.
So what Matt is talking about here is what I was talking about in one of my earlier matches, where you have kind of transitions from one verse to another, where there's going to be a different type of transition that happens, and if you're not ready for it, it will completely screw up your flow, basically. So you could lose EX from it. You could end up bad glitching the next section from it. As you'll see, I end up bad glitching, but I stop playing for a second and get back on beat, and I'm able to recover. You'll see that during the song. And also, yes, it does have speed changes. Yes, I'm familiar with the speed changes. The ending is not something that I remembered how to do the speed change for. I thought it was a 2-tap up instead of a single tap up. Didn't really matter. I'm able to read pretty fast when it comes to just burst stuff, so I kind of got through that without too much trouble. Anyway, let's just watch.
There.
It's that kind of song. Luckily, the big slowdown at the end is really easy to float and deal with.
Yeah. I wouldn't consider this like a Soulflan song, to be honest, because of it's just small slowdowns, but that's something that players have to be aware of.
Right, they have to know that or else they're just going to get grades and potentially even goods.
As a Soulflan master, it's not a Soulflan song.
You're right. Our resident Soulflan master here says no. It is not.
Yeah, please do not float that section. Please don't. Just it's just slow. Just let it be.
What, the ending?
No, the middle. Just let
Oh,
it be.
yeah.
No, the
Okay, so I think my best on this is like an 87 or an 88. I've been practiced at it for a very long time, but I've never gotten the AAA on it. And I specifically want to call out a few things in this song, so I may pause, we'll see.
I feel like the random here could potentially
So
mean a lot.
when the beginning is slappy, like you see on my side, that's a bad sign for the rest of the chart, the main part of the chart. However, there's still going to be a lot of good slaps, so you'll still get a lot of EX out of it. Base 1 is not great for me either. Okay, this is a speed change. It slows down a little more, and it starts speeding up here.
That's a bit of a tough
And we're back to normal speed, I think.
For a very, very long time. Both very old school players. I would say Chris, just because I feel like his timing.
So my main thing here is not really concentrating on the single notes, but concentrating on those little 30 seconds or 16ths, whatever you want to call them. Making sure I hit those, making sure I get these jacks fairly well. So you can see I hit almost all of them with at least great accuracy. This is what I was talking about, where there's a lot of EX that you can drop if you don't have, if you have a slap in the beginning. This becomes kind of awkward. This section isn't too bad. This is where I start bad glitching, so you're going to see right here, I think. Yep. And I stop playing on the 1 key so I can get back on beat. That's an adjustment you have to learn to make a lot as a expert tier player. If you are not on your game with that, you're going to lose very quickly. Like, I could have lost easily 50 EX there, which would have lost me the match, and I would have gone off beat because I don't know what I'm doing. So I double hit, which was not good, but I still got mostly grades. Not too bad. Yeah, see, I ended up 44 ahead. So if I had not fixed that bad glitch section, I would have been out of commission. That would have been it. So that was a big thing you have to keep in mind while you play. If you start seeing those bads and you know you're hitting on beat, you have to find out which key it is, stop playing, and get back on it.
We talked about this multiple times, but we were surprised by her performance at Raj of the Garage, coming out here, and you have players who play really well and then start playing really bad when the tournament set begins, like me. And then you have players.
I'm gonna rewind a little bit so you can hear this commentary.
We were surprised by. If there's one thing that I realized while coming out to all these tournaments is that Cat has been solid at these tournaments. We talked about this multiple times, but we were surprised by her performance at Raj of the Garage, coming out here, and you have players who play really well and then start playing really bad when the tournament set begins, like me. And then you have players who might not do well on the warm-up, but when it matters the most, they either perform at the same level or slightly better.
Right.
And that's all that matters in the tournament.
Yeah, that's very true. It's all.
Okay, so that's a really important point. So I don't think I did particularly well at Raj or at this tournament. However, my standards for tournaments at this point, sometimes I get tournament nerves on specific charts or specific songs. Sometimes I'll get it for matchups, but that's pretty rare. Just because I've been in probably over 100 tournaments for music games now, I don't get that, and I am looking to PB like every other song I play. That's the standard where I'm at now in tournament. So I'm not quite at that level yet. I will get there. The big thing that you need to keep in mind when you first start playing in tournaments is that you're going to lose, you're going to have a hard time. You have to learn to adjust to issues and, you know, losses and difficult randoms, difficult card draws on the fly. So you don't want to pressure yourself to win. You more want to think about how you can do your best. And when you're able to concentrate on just doing your best or figuring out what is going to work best for you, that's when you're going to get the best scores. That's when you're going to start being comfortable playing against people. Even, you know, if you're playing against like Chris Chike in DDR or 1048 in 2DX or something like that, you'll still pull out very good scores. Alright, so let's try and get to the next match here. Might have gone too far. Here it is. Let's back up a little. Okay, I think... Let's see, is there more? Okay, yeah, let's start from here.
Sound Voltex for reasons unknown. The next match will now commence. Looks like it's going to be System versus Cat. Should be a very exciting match here. Cat, as we all know, showing off some really good skill here today. System as well, however, I don't feel like he's had as many chances to play on the machines.
Wait, does this mean I play winner of this set?
I'm not sure. Potentially. Yes. Cat, though, indeed. Cat, though.
Alright, so for those of you guys who are not keeping up with the brackets at home, we're about 2.5 hours before we hit the big red button because of maintenance. We're gonna have to change the rules from the Final Four a little bit so that people play on the same cabinets or people play at the same time.
Okay. That makes sense.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4 more best of threes to play. Winner of this is going to face myself for the top 4 spot. And it's going to be Alan versus About 7. Winner of that versus Kev.
Okay, so a few key things here. Though aka System is a player I have a lot of familiarity with in terms of their scores, but I have not kept up with them in recent years. So I was not familiar with how they have been performing besides in this tournament, and they started getting better and better and better every song they played, probably because they couldn't play on the cabinets that much. And another thing is our set that we pulled was almost all BPM change stuff. And I decided to protect First Samurai. I think because I felt the most comfortable with it, despite it being kind of a finicky song on random, and something I've only AAA'd once, until after this tournament. Spoilers. And though protected D, and I have not played D in years. So I was unfamiliar with any of the float stuff. I don't remember how I'm supposed to do it on outside of float, like regular speeds. I really didn't know what the heck I was going to do for that. So I just kind of watched a video beforehand and played it by ear, and I didn't realize how soon the, what do you call it? The first float section comes up. And I also decided to use a hat, which actually kind of went fairly well. I wasn't that far behind, though, in the beginning of D. So you'll see. I think the commentators kind of made it sound worse than it is, but at the same time, because I'm not familiar with the sudden plus strats anymore, I think I made the right decision using a hat for that. So let's get into it.
For the top 4 spot.
It looks like the first song is going to be First Samurai.
Wow.
That is a song. Can you check up on the list for me, on the song list?
I will.
I need to see the rest
All right.
of this now.
So,
Oh my god.
That's my set.
Yeah, this is amazing right here.
this is a difficult 11, especially to time.
So for the chat
To
here,
combo.
the first song is going to be First Samurai.
There's a lot of
Second
tricky
song is
sections
going
to
be
it. The scratch section you kind of have to learn. It's not a very easy section to figure out. This little chord section here is not too easy to learn either.
Alright,
Yeah, this scratch section is very awkward, and then there's a roll coming out of it that can be very bad.
Actually being a better scratch player, so he might have a little advantage here.
So let's see what my roll looks like.
What he picked. Or this is something that
I know it was bad. Yeah. Oh, that's terrible. That was really bad. Yeah, I'm not very good at that pattern. At least timing it. And then I just kind of fell apart after that. I haven't played this song in a while, but you know, I should have been ready for stuff like this, and my timing would have been better if I had been playing more before the tournament.
It's going to be hard to tell. So looking at the EX points, is about, I want to say about 80 points towards Though.
I also messed up the ending,
80, 200.
which I also did on my AAA run later on after I came back from the tournament. But I did it the opposite way afterwards, I think. Instead of slowing it down too much, I didn't slow it down at all. And I just read it super fast and it was fine. And I should have done that here.
That's a huge gap between the two players at the break.
Yeah, I just couldn't keep up here. Very low score. Yeah, if you can see, like, I'm behind 205 on what my previous best was. So I usually set my pacemaker to my personal best across everything. So like CS, home setups, arcade, whatever my best score is, I generally have it in mind. So I can set up my pacemaker for it.
I forget if it was 1 key or 2 keys down.
It's 2. I do 2.
I think it depends on the player.
It certainly does. Whether or not you can read a little bit fast.
Oh, the hack coming in.
Oh, the hat strat's coming in from Cat. Let's see how each player will handle these speed changes.
So when you use a hat, the whole point is to basically use a sudden plus that is movable by your head, your line of sight. So I messed up a little bit in the beginning, but I got back on beat. I'm doing fairly well here. Basically, you start moving the brim of the hat up as it gets faster.
Honestly, if it were me and I was using a hat, I would actually just read this section regularly, and then as soon as I take the sudden plus off, that's when I would use the hat.
Absolutely.
If I use the hat.
Right, no, I would do the same.
And I was just outplayed by Though here. They just did considerably better than me.
Though hit 1 key, Cat's gonna use a hat, but it's very fast coming in for Cat.
Oh.
She's trying to read it as much as possible.
And I know I'm supposed to float here, but I don't remember exactly how, and I have to wait for the notes to start dropping. And at this point I'm off beat, I can't tell what's going on. Like, I am just completely out of it. I get that stupid roll, wow. I don't know how I comboed through that.
That was just not too great coming out from Cat over there, especially since he...
Yeah, I still could have caught up if I had capitalized on the ending a little bit more. I didn't speed it up to where I wanted it to be, and you'll see it starts slowing down here. I don't remember if I've AAA'd this or not. Maybe once. So the video I was watching set it to like 1100, so I did that and I was like, oh, this is too slow. I don't like this at all. Even though they say it's good, this is not the speed I want to be at. And let's go back a little bit because I want to see if I actually hit this with my right thumb. Nope, I hit it with my left. So you can see I'm kind of falling apart here. I start bad glitching on that one note. Yeah. I don't even pass the song. So if I had known the float strats for this song, I would have done a lot better. I don't think I would have won. Yeah, that's a little bit above a AAA. So I don't think I would have won, but I think I would have done, you know, I would have had a better match.
I believe we have 3 or 4 matches left.
So this is something that I'm going to start learning a little more. I went back and looked at the float strats, and it looks a lot easier than what I had thought it was. The beginning is still a little awkward with the speed, and I might end up doing what Tho did and dropping it by one key or 2 keys, but we'll see what I do. I will go back and AAA this and make sure I'm set for whatever next tournament I end up playing.
We have the event going on the second tab. Will he get the answer right? Will he do it?
Okay, so in conclusion, I did okay at this tournament. I could have done better. I wanted to make it one bracket or one like round further into the bracket, but I don't think I did that bad. Especially considering how little practice I had before the tournament. So a little more about that. Basically, I had one day to qualify for 2DX because our cabinet's one button is really flaky. I think it's the harness or something is loose in there, so as soon as it gets loose again, the one button starts acting up and only works like 80% of the time. So I got my scores in. They weren't all that great. I could have done better. I didn't practice for 2 weeks basically, and then I think the night before we left for Texas, I got a chance to play again, and it was only like 2 or 3 rounds. And then I played 1 round the night that I got to Texas. So that was it. And their screens, I think, are actually different LCDs because one of them I play negative 3.8 on, and the other one I play like negative 3.7 or negative 3.9. I don't remember. But you can see me messing around with it at some point. So that was a little difficult to deal with. And I didn't realize that until after my match with Toshiya, I think. Yeah. So I ended up doing okay. My chart knowledge is lacking, and that's something that bit me real bad here. But considering the circumstances, I think I did okay. If I had footage of Raj, I would, do another one of these for the Raj tournament, but I don't, and I don't think it was streamed. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube, and hopefully it'll be helpful for some people who are getting into tournament play or getting into the game or just kind of want to rewatch and understand what I was going through playing this. Yeah, thank you.